G'day, Tragic here, and welcome to turn 3 of Mansions of Madness, Escape from Innsmouth. Okay, so there was a couple of disasters in my last turn, but you know, wouldn't be a tragic Let's Play without tragic mistakes. So, big problem with this game is though that there's only a single save game on the stupid app thing, and you can't go back. So you have to kind of live with your mistakes. Not that it really worries me, I usually would live with them anyway, but that is a real drawback with this system, is if you make a mistake or you reveal something you're not supposed to, there's no way to go backwards. Anyway, regardless, let's have a look at the errors. Someone told me that this wasn't a door, and I very confidently last video said, well actually in the setup instructions it told me to place a door there, but it didn't. It told me to place a wall there, because there's a half door. That's actually a door icon on the board, but that's a wall on the other thing. So what I was supposed to do is just place a wall like this to turn that into a solid wall. But unfortunately, I've played 2 turns with it as a door, and I've even moved through it last turn and killed someone. So we're just going to continue on with that as a doorway for the rest of this game. Now that is going to change the game a little bit, make it a little bit easier for us, because we'll have easier access to the walking around the mansion from this side to this side. Instead of having to go through here, we can go straight through there. But that is what's happening. So that was a bit of a bummer. The other thing is spells don't count as items for the item count. We did a test in the last game where we had to roll our will versus our item count. And nothing happened because we passed it, because we had 5. You needed 1 success. But this chick here actually had the most items. She had 2 items at the time, and no one else had items, I don't think. Well, actually, he had items as well, didn't he? I don't think there's specific rules for ties. I think you have to take the instruction from the application, but I can't go back and check it. So actually, there is a rule for this. Conflicts on page 2. It is possible for the game effect to have more than one possible outcome. In such a case, investigators determine the outcome. So basically, we can choose. So out of these 2 guys, he has a will of 3 and she has a will of 4. So she's going to roll. Okay, 1, 2. We only need 1 success. So we're pretty sure we'll do this. Bam, we have 1, 2 successes. Okay, so no effect. Okay, so that's that. Let's get on with this. Wah! Okay, so basically there's stuff to explore up the top. So these guys are continue north. This Riot down here might break in any time. So I'm going to use the opportunity of her being in this room to check out these areas and get the hell out of Dodge. So, because we might not be able to get in here easily if the Riot moves into that location. And these guys are going to do the opposite. They're going to go around that way. And yeah, that's the plan. Let's do this. Let's start with, we'll do Rita last. We're going to start with the priest. Now the priest is going to activate his ability again and focus Carson. And then he is going to pick up these 2 items. Bam, bam. And that's it for him. Now while he's doing that, he can also trade. So what I think I'll do is I'll actually, when he does the pick up, he's going to take the dagger and he's going to give the fire extinguisher to Daryl, who I keep calling Carson for some reason. Because Daryl has the oil lamp, which means he could start fires. It'd be nice if he could turn them off. And also, this is also a weapon, apparently. It's a weapon? Weird. It's a heavy weapon. You can use it to just brain people. Awesome. Okay, anyway, that's his turn. Now, Simmons is going to take his turn. He's going to activate this question mark here. So we're going to come along. Let's zoom in a little. Now, you can click on things without activating the
you only activate your turn if you have the turn icon. So if I click on this guy, yeah, see, I can speak to him and just reaffirm what we're looking for. And this is the goal of the game, right? Basically, somewhere, which I'm assuming this way, because that's where the beach is, there's a dock. And we've got to signal the guy has the boat out in the water. We've got to signal him by lighting a fire or something out on the dock, like a signal lamp. And we've also got to ring a foghorn. And we've also got to discover his mates lost in this building somewhere. So they're the three things. But we're going to check out this thing here. Search, and see the little thing, that's the action. So search for that, bang. Ooh, you take the box with you. Perhaps you can solve the puzzle box will open. Gain the puzzle box unique item, then discard this search token. The investigator holding the puzzle box can attempt to open it by interacting with it in the app. Oh, awesome.
Okay, so this is the puzzle box. It's equipment. The intricate patterns seem to be shifting and change as you move the panels. You cannot imagine what prize awaits you. Well, we should probably keep on moving, but I think we're going to open that box. Or at least try.
Okay, so to do that, we open up our inventory, which we haven't seen before. There's a couple of things in here. That's the old journal, which Carlson has. But let's click on the puzzle box. And open takes an action. So click open, boom. You begin sliding the panels around in an attempt to open the box. Tap to attempt the puzzle quest using insight or on observation, I think that actually stands for. Boom. Okay. So the way this works is Daryl Simmons has an observation of 4. And the goal of the puzzle is to get this colored brick into this slot. Okay? Now, you can only move lengthways. Like, I can't drag this thing down, I don't believe. I can only drag it left or right, but I can drag this long one, I can drag up and down. Which doesn't seem right to me, because if I drag this down... Okay, let me think about this. If I drag this down, it's still going to be one, like this. Is that 4 spaces? 1? That's 1, 2, 3. So it's 6 spaces high. This is a 3 space. So how can I ever get that? I definitely can't drag this down. Yeah, I can't drag that up and down. So somehow this thing here, that must be 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so I can drag this down and then that can get to here. And then this will be locked in. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then that guy won't fit. Okay, thinking. So this guy would have to go 1, yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this guy can go down here. So that seems like the obvious move. But the question is, where do you go from there? Okay, I think I don't think I need to do it all in one go, right? So, oh look, you can drag it, as long as you don't let go, you don't spend the move. So I can go that, and then I can do one move here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 moves. And we only have... Oh, we have an observation of 5. That's perfect. Okay, so we can do this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's it. So we need one more turn to unlock this box. Hopefully, there's probably a better way to do that, but let's move along. Okay, so that's done. We didn't open the box, but the puzzle box is there for next turn.
So he's picked up the puzzle box and he almost solved it. I thought you had to do it all in a single go, but you don't. Okay, so now he's going to go 1, 2 and activate this token.
Okay, so we're just going to activate this token. Now this is a site token, so it doesn't require an action. Ooh. You peer down a dark alley to the east of the building. Place the alley corner and the alley tiles as indicated and discard all Explorer and site tokens leading to the area. You see a drunk old man slumped against a crate. Place a person token as indicated. Interesting. A figure peers into the alley from a door leading to the adjacent block. Place a person token as indicated. Another door leads to a tower that stretches high above the rest of the nearby buildings. Place an explore token as indicated. Okay. On the other side of the alley opens up to the dock. Place a site token as indicated. Oh, opens up to the dock. So we found the dock. Okay, let's have a look at this. Right, I think this is sort of definitely the front of the building, so I'm just going to move all this stuff down a little. Oh no, where was this site token? I think it was here. Just move it away from that sun. Look who I found while I was looking through these tokens. Boom. Agent Craven. This is the guy we've got to find, so we'll keep that. We'll need that for later. Okay, so there's a little street urchin, a drunk, an explore token, and a site token leading to the dock. Neat! Okay, so we're looking good. That's the end of his moves. Now he's very vulnerable to this Riot, unfortunately. But, oh well, them's the breaks. Now, he's going to move 1, 2, and then he's going to activate this site token. Okay, come over here. Boom. We don't have to use an action for this. The back of the building overlooks the sea. On the eastern side of the building, a long dock stretches out into the bay. Place the rental dock and dock 2 tiles as indicated, discard all explorer tokens, blah blah blah. A number of rowboats are stacked on the dock. Place a search token as indicated. A small boat rental stands on the dock, but it looks to be closed for the night. Place an explore token. At the end of the dock, an unlit lantern hangs from one of the supports. Place a search token. Okay, so that's the lantern that we need to light. Found. Okay, so we've got to get rid of this. And we place like so, and like so. Okay. Wow, the dungeon's looking huge now. Go even further down the table. Okay. Now he still has another, oh wait, we've got to put all that stuff on. Okay, so there's something to explore there, something to explore to get into this room, and there's the lamp at the end of the dock. So what I think I'm going to do is for his, he's already moved 1, he's moved 1, 2, for his next move he's going to go another movement, okay, so that's 1 move to get into here, a free action to reveal this, and then he'll have 1 more space to move. Okay, so clickaroony. The waves lap against the shore as you look out behind the building. Place the pier tile. Aha! Okay, so it's all coming, it's all starting to make sense. Place this, how's it go? Like this. There's still something to explore there, I think. Okay, click. A number of crates and barrels are grouped together. Place a search token. A waterlogged rowboat low in the pier. Okay. And a snack stand sits on the pier. It was hastily closed. And another site token. I forgot to read what that says. An alley next to the building leads to the streets. An investigator on the pier may reveal. Okay. So, We have another alleyway coming down this side, like there. So we're just missing... So that means we are only missing 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. Okay, so we've... there we are. So we've got this thing here, we've got this thing here, and we've got this thing here. Okay, so I guess if that's the dock, we have to get to here and light that, then we've got to get to the dock, but we still have to find Carson. So Carson is most likely in here or here would be my guess. Now there's no exploration token, so we've got to go round and up. And oh, actually he can just go in. She can just go in next turn. Well, considering he's got 1 extra turn left, I think, because he's still got 1 movement point left, but I think he might just stand where he is, and then these guys as a group can go into there. Yeah, he's just going to stay there. The sister, on the other hand, is going to start heading around. So she's going to go use a move action to go 1, and then she's going to activate this. Now remember, let me check. Yeah, you can interrupt your move action at any time to do another action. So she's moved 1 point from a 2-point move, and then she's going to interact with that. Okay, so let's interact with this sucker. The front door of the boat rental building was once painted a happy blue, but now is crackling and peeling to reveal grey wood beneath. Whoa. Someone has left the light on inside the boat rental. You spot the rental logbook open on the table in the middle of the room. Place a search token as indicated and discard the explore token. You may move into the explored space. Okay, now, okay, so she's still got 1 action point of movement left, but so she's actually going to move here using her last point and not use the free move into there, because she's going to start coming down the alleyway and hooking up with Simmons, and I think we're going to try and team up the father and Rita down here. Okay, so it's now Rita's action, and she's going to use a move action, which actually gives her 3 points of movement, and she's going to go 1, and then use a second action to explore this token here. Okay, so she's going to do this one. Click. The door to the hotel room adjacent to yours is marked 2. The door is probably locked. Okay. Okay, that didn't use an action, but we can't open that. So instead, we're going to explore this location here. The hotel side door leads to an alley right off the street. Boom. You peer down the dark alley to the west of the building. Place the alley corner and the alley 2 tiles as indicated. Discard all explorer tokens, blah, blah, blah. You notice a stack of small crates. Place a search token as indicated. 1 door leads to the building of the adjacent block. Place an explorer token as indicated. Another door leads to the room behind the hotel. Place an explorer token as indicated. You may move 1 space into the explored area. Excellent. Oh, deceptively large footprint, this game. Like, you think it's going to be really small because it starts off so small, but then you end up with a huge footprint. Okay, discard that, discard that, bam, and the bam. Okay, so we have an exploration here, we have an exploration here, we have another question mark here, and we get a free movement. Boom. Now remember, she's in the middle of a move action, so she gets 1 extra movement. Bam. Now, she actually has a free movement because of her ability, but instead, I think we're going to wait there so we can activate this. Yeah, so she's going to sit there, and that is also going to make the Riot 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 spaces, so we can choose what direction it's going to go, which might help us. I kind of think it should go that direction. Maybe I should move 1 up.
And then it will go that way. Well, I can choose which way to go, so it doesn't matter, does it? Okay, there you go. Okay, so that is the end of the investigator phase. And look, we've revealed pretty much the entire dungeon. Now all we need to do is find Carson, and I think that's all we need to do.
So that's the end of the Mythos phase. Have a look at the entire dungeon. So there's only 2 tiles left to go by the looks of it. And we've got people ready to explore. So we'll have the entire dungeon explored at the end of the turn, and then it's just a matter of avoiding the monsters and getting out of there. So it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so let's go to the Mythos phase. Ooh. A senseless chatter arises, filling not just the air, but Father Mythos' mind. Father Mythos suffers 2 horror. So all we need is a single mind success.
Right, helps if I have the camera on. Okay, so basically this is a really easy one because he has 5 mind, or 5 will, and we only need 1 success, so 1 out of 5, pretty good odds. Boom, and we get 1. Well, that's all we need, so that's good. So no horror.
The Innsmouth mob moves 2 spaces towards the alley corner 2. The locals' wet, unblinking eyes are ever watchful for intruders. Each investigator who shares a space with the mob during the movement suffers 1 face-down damage, becomes stunned, and moves to the Innsmouth mob space. Each investigator who shares a space with the Innsmouth mob moves to the Innsmouth mob space. How does that make sense? 96 damage. I don't think we can fight it. What a weird bit of text. Am I reading this wrong? Am I just having like some kind of conniption here? Each investigator who is sharing a space with the Innsmouth mob, okay, so you've got to be in the same space as the mob, during this movement suffers 1 face down damage, okay, and they become stunned, okay, and moves to the Innsmouth mob space. How do you move to the space if you're already in the space? Whatever. The point is it moves 2 spaces towards alley corner 2. I actually worked out what that meant while I was doing my editing. I think it means that as the mob moves, you get caught up in the mob. So if the mob ever moves during its movement through your space, you suffer the damage and you are dragged with the mob and you end up in the mob space. I think that's what it means. It's pretty weirdly worded though, I reckon.
Right, and that is this way. 1, 2. Okay, so there's no... Yeah, this isn't good.
The Innsmouth mob attacked each investigator within range. I think she's in range.
The range of effects that use the phrase within range is up to 3 spaces. Okay, so she's only 1 space, so definitely gets attacked.
The monster attacks! Boom! The members of the Riot begin throwing stones, glass bottles, and debris at you. You try desperately to avoid the hail of deadly objects. Suffer free damage, or a 1 success in agility negates. If you suffer 2 or more damage, you are pelted with flying objects and something strikes you hard in the temple, becomes stunned. Right, so each success negates 1 damage. I believe that's what that means.
Now luckily, her agility is actually quite high at 4. So we need 3 successes. Come on. We need at least 2 successes. Come on. Boom. Oh my god. Not good. Okay, so. That's bad. Okay, so we're going to use the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. And that allows us to re-roll 1 dice. Come on. We need a success here. Come on, success. Yes! So we get 1 success and she's going to spend her remaining clue. Boom. to turn into 2 successes. The members of the Riot begin throwing stone. Suffer 3 damage. It says suffer 3 damage or get stunned if we have 2 damage. So I think we take 1 damage. Right, so she takes 1 damage and it comes in face up. Bam. Muscle tear. When you stand still, the pain is a dull throb. When you move, it is sharp agony. Keep face up. Roll 1 fewer die while resolving a strength test. So you have to remember that. 1 fewer die while resolving a strength test. She still has 4 strength even with that card, so it's not too bad. Okay, that could have been a lot worse.
Next. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range with the highest horror rating. All horror checks have been resolved. Tap the phase button to continue. Okay, so now we have a horror check. Well, she is in range of this monster, so we're going to resolve the horror check here. Confirm. Boom. The Riot begins shouting and breaking things at random in the area. The sound of shattering glass and shouting is joined by the crackle and roar of flame. Place fire in the monster's space. Then suffer 1 face down horror. I think I've been rolling wrong the whole game. That says -1. So that's not how many successes you're supposed to... Right? So that's not how many successes you're supposed to roll. That's how many modified dice you need to roll to get a success. So if it says mind 1... you roll your mind plus 1 dice. You don't need to get 2. You don't need to get 1 success. I think all successes just need a single success roll. So I think I've been doing that completely wrong the entire game, but I don't think it makes a difference because I've passed everything anyway, even with that not working properly. I'll just quickly check.
Yeah, so here we go. Check this out. He adds or subtracts a test modifier. A test modifier is a number that follows the skill icon in the effects text, preceded by a plus sign or a negative sign. And that adds dice. And then down here on determine result, a test declaration may include a number separated from the skill icon by a semicolon. This is the test difficulty. The test difficulty indicates the test results required to pass. If the test result is less than the test difficulty, the investigator fails the test. So basically we've been doing this wrong the whole game. I don't know how many rolls we got wrong, but we definitely got 2 of them recently wrong, which I found in the editing. For starters, test for the damage, right, was agility plus 1 and then negates. So what that actually means is that we use her agility, which is 4 dice, and we get 1 extra dice, and then every success negates. So we rolled 4 dice and we got 2 successes, and we used the rabbit foot to re-roll again, and we used a token to get 2 successes, okay? But we actually have an extra dice we haven't rolled for that damage test. So we're just going to roll that now. Boom, and there's another success. So we're actually going to take this damage back and shuffle it back in, because it was because it was agility plus 1 negates. And we have the same problem with the horror test for the father. Now the father actually didn't gain any horror, but he had the same thing. He actually had a test of mind plus 1, okay, and then he had to negate horrors. And he rolled 4 dice, and only one of those dice was a success, which means that he technically has another dice to roll and 1 more horror to negate. So let's do that now. Ya-bam! And that's a miss. Now he could actually spend a token to turn one of his previous rolls into investigation rolls into another success, because he rolled a couple of investigation, but it's just getting way complicated and strange now, and besides we screwed up so badly that it's his punishment. Well, my punishment. So he now has to take a single horror. Yoink. And you take this face up. Minus shock. Your heart races and your breath catches in your throat. Resolve immediately. No additional effect. Flip this card face down. Nice. So he has 1 horror. And that takes him to 7 total horror.
Okay, so where was I? We have to roll mind -1.
Now her mind is 4, so she gets to roll 3 dice. Okay, come on, we need 1 success. Boom, 3 successes, that's the way it's done. Okay, so she doesn't suffer any horror. But the mob has set fire to this location. It's great. So the whole place is about to burn down. Not good.
Okay, and that is the end of the Mythos phase and the end of turn 3. Wow. That was epic.
Okay, so we made a lot of progress that turn, but I think we've stretched ourselves pretty thin. At least the mob's on that side of the thing. She can get the hell out of Dodge pretty darn quickly. We do know one thing, and that is that Simmons down here at the front of the hotel, he has the lamp, the oil lamp here, and the oil lamp is a light source, and we need to use this item to light the lamp all the way up here to signal the boat. So he has to get up there. Ooh, I've actually got the wrong street here. There's a big brick wall there, so funk. Let's get rid of that and replace it with this one. That makes a little more sense because you now have the doorway leading off. Okay, so that's fixed. Well, quite a few little errors in that one, but doesn't matter, we're back on track. I've got the rolling sorted out. Basically, there's a comma or there's a plus or a minus, but whatever. Okay, so I will see you guys next time.